This is Dr. Kemi Olunloyo, Sunday, the 13th of July, 2025. I just want to tell you about President Buhari's death, about one key thing that people should do a takeaway from. President Buhari died in a hospital in London. A lot of you are wondering, why did he die in London hospital? Why not in Abuja? Why not in Nigeria? It brings out the same conversation about hospitals, building good ones, and having good medical facilities in Nigeria. Why do politicians have to always die somewhere outside the country? Now, I do want to explain this to you. It's personal to me. There is something called an ESTA code, and it's literally money that the federal government in Nigeria gives politicians to go get medical treatment for them or their family members outside Nigeria. If you become a politician today, you'll probably have an ESTA code. If one thing or the other happens to you or your child or something, the government probably will pay for it. However, there are little variations on the ESTA code that has changed. But for now, really, that's what it is. Now, before I go back to President Buhari, I'm going to explain it to you. In 1978, you've heard this story. We were in a government car and we drove right into the rioters on Ikoyi Road, Ali Moscow riot. My brother Tayo was 8, I was 13. Tayo's brain was taken out. I mean, rocks they threw on us. The driver died instantly, and my brother lost half of his brain. He lived with seizures, paralyzed for life, 43 years, and then at 51, he died. During that time, Tayo used the Nigerian government ESTA code through my dad, because my father had just become the executive secretary of the National Science and Technology Development Agency, NSTDA. And that will come to like what you guys call Minister of Technology and all that stuff now. But anyway, President Obasanjo was the leader. He paid for all of it through the ESTA code. However, I was also a victim in that accident and I didn't get help. I told you my stories personally. I was sexually assaulted by over 20 men, fingering me and, literally breaking my hymen. I had very, very, very bad vaginal injuries at 13, and my father was standing there watching and didn't rescue me. He ran away from both of us. At the end of the day, I've told you my story, and I could not hold urine till 19. From 13 to 19, I always wet the bed. I told you my sad stories in boarding school, how they made fun of me and everything. Many of those students are now contacting me, begging me. I don't want to talk to anybody. I really shut everybody away. But at the end of the day, we all have stories. Now, with everything I've gone through and the mental trauma and the ability to want to tell the world my story, and my father had to write premium times to actually say I was mentally unstable and insane, because I lied that he sexually abused me. See how he twisted the story? You all know the story. And since then, everybody have thought that I was a mad woman and all that. But at the end of the day, I didn't get part of that ESTA code. I didn't get treatment. I didn't get anything. And that's why I wrote President Obasanjo and President Tinubu on receiving compensation for my own part of that accident in 1978. However, Tayo used ESTA code to go to the Philippines with my mom. They took him to London, to Harley Street. These are very expensive hospitals. And it's that ESTA code, that they used. So President Buhari has ESTA code. So regardless of what it is, I know you're going to say that, why are the leaders always going to die in a hospital outside the country? When you're retired as a leader, you're going to get pensions, you're going to get ESTA codes and other things. And that's possibly why he went abroad. His spokespeople are not going to tell us how he died, what killed him, what ailment, because he was old. So automatically it's old age. For me, if I have to describe what killed my dad, I'll say he had prostate cancer, which he battled for 25 years, and he had high blood pressure. My father also had a stroke 3 years ago. So almost 90, 1 week left. So at the end of the day, it is what it is, all right? Politicians always have ESTA codes. If you win one day, you'll have an ESTA code too, but it still sends a bad message. ESTA code or no ESTA code, should we still have ESTA codes in Nigeria? Should we build better hospitals and have good medical facilities? Yes, so that we won't have to spend extra money on ESTA codes. If somebody has to be taken abroad for a very critical thing, the government can have a fund for that. That's my say. Thank you for watching.